Books A Million, in case you're curious. Spoilers.
Let's meet at the library. Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Julia, and welcome to my channel, Shakespeare and Such. Sorry for the weird shadows and the lighting, but I get home and it's pitch black outside, so we have to make do, right? I am here to do my January book haul. I have tried to be so good for the new year, but I'm already off to a pretty hefty start. So far, I have been pretty on par with what I've been reading, so I haven't increased my TBR too much. But then a Bookoutlet box came in the mail today that I may or may not have ordered. So let's do that. I have a couple things that are from subscription boxes. I have a few things that I bought myself, and then the unboxing. So let's dive right in. First up, I have the book from the December Shelf Love Crate. It came out a little bit later because of the release date of this book, which is why I got it in January, and that is Everless by Sarah Holland. And as far as I know, this book is a young adult fantasy in which time is kind of like their currency, so the rich people live so super long, and the poor people are just struggling to get by and continue their sad lives. So I am kind of excited about this. I don't really know what to expect from it, but I'm kind of thinking like Red Queen vibes, and you know my feelings on that series, so hopefully I like the characters. Next we have my book of the month pick for January, which is As Bright as Heaven by Susan Meissner? And this is so up my alley. I have to say, this was one month where there were actually like a fair few, I think like 4 out of the 5 books I could have been pretty pleased with or like interested in, which does not always happen with Book of the Month. But as this one was historical fiction, of course, this is the road I went down. So this book takes place somewhere in America, in Philadelphia, in 1918, and from what I understand, it is about a woman and her daughters, and then there's like the Spanish influenza and people are dying, but I think they take in a baby and they start to take care of it, and like these are all buzzwords for me. We have historical fiction centered around female characters, there's a baby. I fail to even fathom how I won't love this book. Did that sentence make sense? I don't think there's a way I can not love this book, so I'm really excited about it. Next up are the books that I bought for myself. Well, these, see, the problem is I didn't realize I work like 4 minutes away from a bookstore, and it's a little dangerous. So I popped in there on my break, and I had a mission. I needed to get Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman. I just talked about this in my most anticipated books of 2018. It's a little bit bigger than Scythe. I mean, Scythe was pretty big. Maybe it's not. It feels just big to me for some reason. And I'm so excited about this book. Yeah, this is, I keep talking about it, but it's future, dystopian, utopian, where death is no longer a natural thing, and so there are scythes whose job it is to kill people to help control the population, but the second book is going to get pretty spicy. What voice was that? Who's to say? I don't know. And then while I was still in Books A Million, I had this book in my mind because the last time I was there, I saw it, and I thought about getting it, and I didn't, and ever since then, I'm like, I should have got that book, you know, how it just, like, haunts you sometimes? So I got The Witches of New York by Amy McKay, and first of all, I'm obsessed with this cover. This book is also historical fiction, and it's about literal witches, and, I mean, I think that's the gist. It's, like, spiritual gifts and witches in 1880 New York City. Greatest city in the world. Okay. The last book I have before my unboxing is what I got in the January Once Upon a Book Club adult box, not young adult box, and oh, I'm so excited for it. It's The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This book has been getting a lot of talk. like a lot of talk. I keep hearing people mentioning this book, so I'm very intrigued. This is about a woman who has, I think it's agoraphobia, where you're like afraid of wide spaces, so you don't like to leave your house. And she, I think, spies her neighbors doing something that she should not have seen. And yeah, it's very Disturbia. Remember that movie? Shia LaBeouf? Wasn't it? I think. Yes. And I know she drinks a lot of wine, and I know she thinks a lot of things, and I'm assuming she'll have to venture out of her house eventually to solve the mystery. So I'm excited. I haven't read a lot of thrillers in general in my life, but I did read, what's it called? The Last Mrs. Parrish in November, and I really loved it, so it made me want to pick up more like domestic adult thrillers, and hopefully this is a good one. On to the unboxing. Sorry, I'm shimmying. Okay, I got it. And look at this. I have not even opened this in the least. I got my zebra scissors ready to cut this bad boy open. Okay, so I definitely ordered 6 things from Bookoutlet. Hopefully they're all here, because you know how sometimes you order from Bookoutlet, but you didn't order it fast enough, so one of the things they're like, psych, we'll refund you, but you didn't get it, and we didn't let you know until you got it in your box, or you didn't get it. It's rough, sometimes that happens. But hopefully they'll all be in there. I don't know what order they're going to be in, so we'll just tackle them as they come. Here we go. So at the top, oh my god, it's so beautiful, I might cry. Wow, I'm a nerd. Okay, so at the very top is the reason that I purchased this order, because this has been on my Amazon wish list, and I'm like, I don't need to buy that. Like, I really don't, but I just want to. And when I saw it on Bookoutlet, I was like, this is a great opportunity, and I also like this cover more than the one that I had previously wanted. And then, you know, I had to buy all the other things just so I could get free shipping. Anyways. It's Botanical Shakespeare by Garrett Queally. Wow, what a name. This is an illustrated compendium of all the flowers, fruits, herbs, trees, seeds, and grasses cited by the world's greatest playwright. If this isn't the nerdiest book I own, I don't know what is. Let's look inside. I bet it's gorgeous. It is. Why am I actually about to cry? So yeah, it's just like a lot of beautiful illustrations of plants and, you know, fennel, and then it has a quote, Ophelia, there's fennel for you, and columbines, and it just says who mentioned the plant. And it's got a nice ribbony bookmark. And this is, I mean, I'm in love with this, but we have to all agree that this is straight up the nerdiest. This is the apex of my Shakespeare nerddom, is owning a book just about plants mentioned by Shakespeare. But it's pretty. Next up is one that I've been like resisting for a while. I've almost bought it at Target and a few other places. There's a huge weird mark on the bottom. And it is The Beguiled by Thomas Cullinan. I really don't know how to say anyone's name, do I? Cullinan? Cullinan. This, I mean, if you can't tell, this is the movie tie-in cover, so this recently became a movie, and diddly darn am I excited. I have not seen the movie, nor have I read the book, but I really want to experience both, and this is one case that I really wanted to read the book before the movie, even though sometimes I'm like okay with switching it. I feel like when it's action-y, I don't mind seeing the movie first, but when it's like very suspenseful, I always want to read the book first. And this is like, you know, just Southern Belles. And I think, are they in the South? They must be. I just said they're Southern Belles. Oh my god. Yes. So they're like these Southern Belles, and then a Union soldier like stumbles onto their property all wounded, and they like nurse him back to health, but then there's also like seduction and deceit and who knows, like murder? Maybe. I can't wait to read this. Next we have the third book in a series that I haven't read the second book of, but I loved the first, and I can't imagine how it like could go wrong because I feel like it's going to be kind of episodic. Why do I spend so much time like talking before showing you the book? I just need to show you the book, right? It's like enough with the suspense. This is Ghostly Echoes by William Ritter, and this is the third book in the Jack B series. Like I said, I just recently read Jack B at the end of last year, and it was a delight. It was such a fun historical fiction, supernatural, mystery, good old time. And I already own the second book, so I thought I'd pick up the third. Plus, I'm sorry about the reflection. I mean, the covers of this series are just stunning. I love it. Okay, next. Can I stop saying next the exact same way for every book? I'm so annoying. Okay, the next book is the book that I know the least about. This is Wait for Me by Caroline Leach. I hate the way I just said wait for me. Wait for me. It was so snotty. Wait for Me by Caroline Leach. From what I understand, this is like a World War II historical fiction. Have I? Yeah, these have all been historical fiction. Classic me. And it is, I think it takes place in Scotland, and this girl's like working on a farm with her family, and then a German soldier who's like a prisoner of war has to work on this farm, and she's like, we have to work with this person, but then of course like they're gonna fall in love, and I'm kind of into that, so we'll see. Oh man. Okay, now I am back at it again with the classics retellings. I told you, this is my thing. I found my thing. It's not fantasy fairy tale retellings, classics retellings. And I have Dear Mr. Knightley by Catherine Ray. I don't know anyone's names ever. This is kind of a retelling of Emma, but like modern, but also it actually sounds way more like Daddy Longlegs than Emma, and that gets my heart going. If you don't know Daddy Longlegs, I like didn't until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and it changed my life. Not even the book, the musical, and then the movie, and then I own the book, and I still haven't read the book, and I need to read the book. But I call it the original Catfish. Daddy Longlegs is about a girl who gets basically money to go to college from this mysterious rich man, and he's like, the only condition is you have to keep writing me letters so I know that you're like doing stuff the way you're supposed to, like write to me about your life. And so she writes to him about his life, but she's like giving him nicknames, and she's like the cutest little bean that's ever been, and he starts falling in love with her, and then she meets him as him because he's the uncle of her roommate, but she doesn't know that because she imagines she's writing to like this 80-year-old man, and he's like not, he's like a hunk. And yeah, I'm sorry, that went on way too long, but this sounds like that because she's an English major, and I mean, her diet has always been Austen, Dickens, and Shakespeare. Cut Dickens out of there, and I hear you, girl. But so she's an orphan, and she has to write to this benefactor, and I mean, it's literally Daddy Longlegs. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, shout out to me for this last book because it's not historical fiction, and it's one you've actually probably heard of and or care about before this video because I'm really good at talking about books that like no one else cares about. I have Radio Silence by Alice Osman. Or Osman. This is the book I know least about. It's, hold that thought. It has to do with a podcast and some friends. I think there's LGBTQ plus themes. I don't know. I've heard really great things about this, but I thought I knew more about it, and I don't think I know anything about it. It's bigger than I thought it would be. So this is Radio Silence. All right, those are the, 12? Nah, the 12 books that I acquired in the month of January. I am not going to be buying this many books every month. I'm not. I will drown in books if that happens, unless I start reading like 50 books a month, which will not happen. But I'm happy to share these with you because I'm like genuinely really excited about all these books. Oh hey, it's an entirely different day. I put on the same outfit for continuity purposes, I suppose. But yeah, you know, I pre-filmed that thinking like, oh, I am so done buying books for the month. Apparently, I wasn't done buying books for the month. I have 5 more books to show you. So let's go through them so quickly. First thing was I bought some books through a friend on Instagram because she was trying to get rid of some books, and I'm all about trying to complete my vintage classics collection of Jane Austen books. For some reason, that was a mouthful for me. So she sent me Persuasion and Pride and Prejudice, of course, both by Jane Austen. I just need Emma in my collection now, so I mean, look at how they're just so pretty. And then they have the quotes on the back. You pierce my soul. I'm half agony, half hope. You know, you must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and adore you. Like, it's just, they're so lovely. So I'm excited to have those. And then I went to the library to pick up some books for my students that I was teaching. And then I went into their little, like, secondhand shop, and I'm so weak every time I go in there, but I found some gems, so let me show you these 3. First up, I found, in impeccable condition, The Tempest by William Shakespeare. This, I mean, like, look, the spine's not even cracked. This is brand new. If you haven't heard me say this before, I like to get all my Shakespeare in these folder editions because they have great footnotes on every page, and I just like to annotate in them because I don't really care about these editions, so... Then I found this hefty, gorgeous, awesome biography, Walt Disney, The Triumph of the American Imagination by Neil Gabler? Maybe Gabler? Don't know. It's a chunker. But if you don't know this about me, I am obsessed with all things Disney. I did the Disney College program. I've been to Disney World literally like a shameful amount of times considering I live in Michigan and like I'm not too close to either Disneyland or Disney World. And yes, I love all the stories and the magic and everything that Disney is about. And I know Walt Disney was not a perfect person by any means, but I think this will be an incredible biography to read. There's a fire truck. So to be fair, this is only about like 630 pages, and then this is all footnotes and fun stuff. So, I mean, it's not quite as big as it looks, but it's still a chunker. Still, I'm really excited. And then the last thing I found is not in the best condition, but I'm okay because I got it for like $2. Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel, I think is how you say his name. This is a sci-fi novel that I've heard really great things about. It's told in like an interview format. I don't know if you can see that, so it's like question and answer. But I've heard very intriguing things about this, and yeah, this was one that's been on my radar. It's been on my Goodreads, so I thought if I can get it for this cheap, why not? And also, let's just admire how beautiful that hardback is. It's gorgeous. And the back. Come on. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled content. So please leave a comment down below sharing with me what you know about these books, if you're excited for them, if you read them, and you think I will love and or hate them, who's to say. Make sure to check out the links down below so you can add me on Twitter or Instagram or Goodreads or Bookaxe, which I'm going to start talking about because I'm like addicted to Bookaxe right now. And yeah, we can be friends or something. Thank you all so much for watching, and you'll see more of me soon. Bye!